Hello, Vidargavia here, and welcome to this Minecraft 1.16 and onwards creeper farm. Yes, a Minecraft creeper farm, and you can see how I built this in survival behind me here. Let's have a little look. It's a big giant hole, and down there at the bottom is the farm. So let's see here how this farm works, and after that I will show you how to build it in this Minecraft 1.16 creeper farm tutorial. So here you see the creeper farm in action. As you can see, there's two cats on some chests in the middle. There's some wool carpet on the floor to prevent spider spawns. There is trapdoors around the edge of the platform to make the creepers fall down or walk off of it. And the creepers, they fall in, as you see there, on the magma blocks. Their loot is picked up underneath by a hopper minecart. And I'm stood here 35 or so blocks away. You can stand a bit further away, you can stand a bit closer as well. That's fine. What makes this tick though? What makes it so that only creepers spawn is the carpet, like we mentioned, but it's also the trapdoors in the roof of the platform. Because creepers are slightly shorter than skeletons and zombies, and so every attempt to spawn skeletons or zombies in that area on that platform will fail. So as you can see here, the creepers, as soon as they spawn, they fly off the edge like there's no tomorrow, and the reason for that is those cats. Creepers are afraid of cats. They will try and find a spot away from the cats. That's usually somewhere in the walls or something like that, and so they walk towards that and they walk off. They will walk up to 16 blocks away, but it's random how far away the spot is, so sometimes they will walk to the edge of the platform, then see the cat again, and then walk off. Alright guys, so let's build this thing. Alright guys, so we're here in a creative world to show you how to build this thing, but before you build it, you need to think things through, okay? And so here we are, we've decided that we're going to build the farm here. You should pick any space you want, preferably though, a mushroom island with a ocean in it, that would work very well, or a desert is fine too, or any location where not too many other mobs might want to spawn. The good thing about deserts is that less zombies try and spawn, so that's why that is your second best option. Okay, but before you start, now what you need to do is you need to find one chunk. So press F3 and G together to show the chunk borders. And as you can see, we're in the middle of the chunk here. We've decided to build it here. It's not optimal because we're quite close to the ocean here, but yeah. The reason I've chosen this particular chunk is because if you look on a map that is scaled out one time, so if you look on the map here, it says scaling 1 to 2, okay, or level, it says also level 1/4 or 1/4. We're roughly in the middle of that map, and the reason for that is that if you look in that direction, you see some torches over there. If you look over in that direction, you see some torches over there. Same goes for this direction. If we go up a little bit, there's two torches right over there, and in that direction, right over there. Crafting tables. Okay, so what you need to do to get this farm as efficient as possible, and this is true for all mob farms and all other creeper farms as well, is you need to light up all the caves in this area, from the torches to the other torches and so on. And that is going to make it so that in all directions around the chunk you've chosen, the caves are lit up 128 blocks from the chunk that you're doing this in. And that is to prevent other mobs from spawning elsewhere. That's your first order of business. Now, why do you want to build this in only one chunk? Well, that is because you want to focus all your spawning to this chunk, and you want to go down far enough so that you are only operating in the first subchunk of this chunk. So the first thing you need to do is you need to take this whole chunk and you need to start digging it all out, all the way down to bedrock, until it looks something like this. Alright, so now we're prepared to build our creeper farm. You need to find the center of the chunk and just mark that out. And the reason I made a little tunnel here is because you want to dig out for your AFK spot. And also in the same direction you want your rail to have its unloading station. So we'll dig out a couple of blocks here. And by the way, I forgot to mention, you are now on Y level 5, and that's where the bedrock starts appearing. Okay, so that's going to be our unloading station. From the unloading station, you go in 3 blocks, or from the edge of the chunks, 1, 2, 3. And this is where our platform is going to start. And we're going to build up the platform first, because we don't want to have any rails underneath the platform. The reason you're making it this small, the platform, is because we want the creepers to be able to be no more than 5 blocks away from the cats, because if they're more than that, they might not see the cats. So yeah, there you go. Now, the shape of the platform, we want it to be slightly rounded towards the edges, because otherwise, again, the creepers can come too far away from the cats. So build out 2 blocks in each direction like this, and round off the corners. We're going to have rails on here, and then we're going to have magma blocks, and then we want the creepers to fall down 2 blocks. So in total you should have a platform that is 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. And you can just build that up with any block you like, of course. Must be a full block though. Alright, now you can just fill in the entire floor of the spawning platform like this. And you're wise to leave the torches down there, so that nothing spawns inside of your mob platform. Inside of your creeper platform. Alright, you have your spawning platform in order. Now, in the middle 2 blocks, the middle 4 blocks even, you are going to place 2 double chests, like that. Alright, let's do the rails, guys. So, if you mark out where the wall is going to go, the edge of the farm here, underneath that you put a powered rail, and then you put a non-powered rail, and then this is going to be our drop-off point. Now, if you end up with situations like this where you have bedrock, you might have to do this a little bit longer. So maybe here would be a nice area, but we should be able to do it. Now we can't do it here because there's bedrock there as well. So then you can just keep going with the powered rails like this, and then the second to last rail, you put a normal rail, and then this is going to be our drop-off point here. So in this case, we'll just do it very simply. We'll put a chest down, hopper into the chest, and then a powered rail on top of that. Okay, so this is where all your gunpowder is going to end up. Now you need a full block here, because we want the minecart to stop. And then you need to go and you need to listen here with the comparator, so that we know when there is stuff inside of this hopper. And there will be stuff inside of this hopper when we have a hopper minecart with stuff in it on top of it. So if we, for instance, put chest in here, we can see that there's stuff in it, and then we pick up a little comparator here, place it down like that, and you see it turns on because there's stuff in the hopper. We take this stuff out, it'll turn off. Okay, so this is how we can know when we need to have the cart standing about and when we need to have it running about. Now you can put the comparator on either side, like that, for instance, behind it, because you can have the comparator underneath the block that you're stopping, and that's good. And in this case, we have bedrock here, and that's fine, because we can still get the signal through. Alright, so if you put a torch on top here, what you will notice is that this rail is now powered. So what we want to do is we want to take the signal, and we want it to sort of negate that torch whenever there is something in the hopper. So I'm actually going to have to take that bedrock away, aren't I? So find a spot where there's a bit of space behind as well. So what we do is we take a repeater, put it down like that into a block, and then we put it up here. And as you can see there, it now when there's items in here, the torch goes off. So if we push this thing over to here, we take all those out. When it's empty, it should start get going. And it did. Now it didn't get very far because we need to power, of course, these rails as well. And you need to find a way here to get down. Oh, come on. To get down. There's bedrock there as well. There as well. What the heck? Okay. Underneath here, and place a lever underneath like this, and turn it on. All right. So now this rail is always powered. All right. So our unloading system is done. Now we need to go out here, and we need to make the rail cart go all the way around to all of these blocks that are down here on the platform. Now you don't actually need to have these corners like this, and we're going to fix that in a minute as well. So what you need to do is you need to focus on these 2 blocks, and you need to go 2 blocks out like this, and so you could cut that off like that. Also, you don't really need to focus on this here block, because not much will fall on that block. In fact, you can fill this in as well all the way around, so as to create a nice, smooth, good looking interior for your farm. In fact, let's just do that before we start with the rails. Once you've done all that, it's time to actually do the rails. I will show you the pattern you need to follow to make sure you get all of these blocks here. And it's a bit tricksy around the corners, but we'll figure it out. So you have to go one way first of all, and then you go, yeah, like that. And you're gonna miss this block, but that's fine. Nothing's gonna fall on this block, so we can patch that up, and same with that. And by the way, I'm just showing you this with normal rails, but in a while we're going to take some of these rails and change them out for powered rails, of course. Alright, so now we're nearing this part here. We're going to have to make a turn, like that. And then you go all the way around like this. Alright, and when we come back here, we need to do some jiggery-pokery here in order for us to get the rails in the correct order. We want them to first do the inner one, so that is nice and smooth. And then we want to take that rail away and place it back like that. So now the minecart is going to go out this way, and it's going to come in this way. Alright, so now you need to take your powered rails and your levers, and you need to go around and replace some of these with powered rails. And this is a little bit fiddly, okay? Because now you need to get underneath in each of these places and put a lever down. And like I showed you before, what I usually do is I go around like this, put a trapdoor in, and go underneath like that. You can also replace some of these stone blocks if you want to with redstone blocks. But you know, that's pricier, so we prefer to do it this way if we can. Alright, so we can't do anything about the corners or the turns, but we can replace all the other ones with powered rails. And you know, you don't have to do all of them. You can test it out and make sure that the hopper minecart actually moves through everything here. But in this case, I'm just going to do the lot. Alright, so you got that done. I just wanted to show you before we go on. Here's a typical example of where I just could not fit the lever in. So I had to put a redstone block here. Alright, so the next step is really to test this out. Alright, so we need to go here. We need to put a stack of items in the hopper. The powered rail turns off. We put the minecart down, and then we just remove these. Off it goes. And then you can put some items on the rail here somewhere, and they should get picked up. Alright, and so it went back. It should have left this item now in here, and yes it did. Okay, this is all the rubbish we've collected. Now, the next step here is to place magma blocks on top of all of these rails. You can sneak on the magma blocks and just place them down on the rails, and they'll be correctly placed. Alright, so we're done with that. You should now have 2 blocks up to the platform, and you're gonna have to get in here somehow. Now I was gonna say one more thing, and that is if you want this to be able to turn itself off, you can just put a lever here, and turn it off, and next time the rail cart comes here, it'll stop here. Alright, next step is to go up 2 blocks, like that, get some sort of slab, and place it on the underside of that 3rd block, like that. Okay, And now you need to cover this entire chunk with that block. Please remember, by the way, put a torch back here. Or fill it in, that's probably even better, just so nothing spawns. Like so. Okay, and so now if we break some blocks here and go down, you'll find that you still have a too wide area here. So next step is go around and fill all this in again. Alright, once you're done with that, it should look something like this. And next step is to, on all of the edges here, put some sort of trapdoor in. Let's go for these newfangled crimson ones. So you go around like this, all the way around your farm. So once you've done that, you can close all of these trapdoors. The reason you have these trapdoors is because mobs, as I'm sure you know, see these as full blocks, and so they'll try and walk on them, and then they of course fall out because the trapdoors are all folded down. Okay, so next step here is probably to get some cats. So you need to find yourself a village, get some raw fish, and tame a couple of cats. Even actually in creative, you have to tame them. Alright, so he's on the chest already. Now this feller, he is not on the chest. You want one on this chest and one on this side here. And the way to fix that is to put a slab down, maybe something like that, and then you can shift or sneak and push the little fella. Don't have him stand up, because they are just as susceptible to this trapdoor trick as any other mob, so they'll just walk off and die. Yeah, but because there's a slab there, he'll just slide up like that, and then you can slide him onto the chest right where you want him. Okay, and you need to make sure that you can't push him from any side, okay? Because the creeper might spawn here and somehow nudge him. Ooh. Someone nudge him. And so they need to be right on the edge or right on the inside of the chest like that. Okay, so then they're in place. I appreciate, by the way, that that's a bit of a faff, but that's what we've got to do with this farm. And so actually, this is one of the final steps here. We need to place trapdoors in the ceiling on all of the blocks that are covered by the platform. Alright, so when we're near the cats, as you can see, we just keep placing the trapdoors. And this should be enough protection for the cats, because the creeper cannot get in here in any way, shape or form. Plus they don't want to. Next up, you need to take a carpet, any carpet will do, and you need to figure out a pattern here so that there is no 3x3. So for instance, this would not be okay. Right, because here there would be a 3x3, and so spiders could spawn here. So we need to have a pattern for fixing that. What I usually do is I put a carpet at the end or edge, sorry, of the chests like that, and then I put a carpet here, 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 and here, and also here, here. So there's two between them. Here, there's two between those. Here. And here. Now, that should do it. The farm is pretty much complete. You need to make yourself an AFK spot. But while you do that, you can take these torches out. You can open a trapdoor, take some blocks, and close the trapdoor after yourself. And you've snuck away. Now, the final thing you need to do is to fill this in. The AFK spot needs to be at the height of the creeper farm platform. So you need to have the floor for it around about here. And if you follow this tutorial exactly, it should be on Y9. And then you need to count from the edge of the platform. So the trapdoor is the first block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go 30 more blocks in, so 35 in total. And that will be your optimal spawn or AFK spot. But like I said, you can be up to 25 or between 25 and sort of 50, 60 blocks away. So you can sort of have an area in here somewhere where you sort of do work and have your base. I usually combine this with a sugarcane farm in here because, let's face it, you need the gunpowder for rockets mainly. That is this Minecraft 1.16 and beyond super easy creeper farm. Now there is one final tip I want to give you. And that is, if you find that you need a lot of gunpowder, for instance, if you're on an SMP, you guys all need tons of gunpowder. Well, you can actually put in a second story here. If we look down in the farm here, all you do then is you press F3 and G, and you see this blue line here. You must place no blocks above that blue line, none whatsoever. So you can't decorate this above, because this blue line marks out the first or lowest sub-chunk in this chunk. Okay, as you can see, there's more of them. There's one, there's the second sub-chunk, third, and so on. There's 8 of these sub-chunks. But what you do if you want to make another layer is you need to basically mirror. You need to remove blocks here so that the creeper can fall down like this. And then you need to place a slab on top of the platform here, shaped exactly like that platform. Then go up 3 blocks like that, and then place your roof up here instead. And as you can see here, if we go out the corner, we are still in the first sub-chunk. Alright? So 2 platforms, entirely possible. I won't show that though, because usually, and at least for one person, for one person, it is quite enough actually with one level for personal use. Alright, so that is this super simple creeper farm tutorial done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and check out some of my other videos. I have a lot of tutorials, I have Let's Plays and all sorts of other Minecraft related stuff on my channel. Yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!